welcome to the Nexus. Today we're going to be doing pack 5 of our Megazord. We've got to do two things before we start doing the main pack. There's two things that we've got to do before then, so let's get going. Okay, so obviously you get the another one of these slip cases just here. I'm not going to open it just yet. Now the thing we've got to do beforehand, so I've got the whole pack here, just there. That's it there. So we've got 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. But what also we've got, and we've also got 15 as well there. But also what we've got is we've got the missing issue 10 from the last pack. So it means that the first bit we're going to do is issue 10 and 11. So let's do them now. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got 10 and 11. So 10 was missing from the previous pack. So it meant that we couldn't do 11. But now we can. So let's do issue 10 like that, and we'll put the magazine over here so I know what I'm doing. Okay, so it was pretty straightforward because we've got the two front legs for the Sabertooth build. We could only do the one, but now we've got the both, so we can carry on with this. So if I can open it. There we go. Just like that. So this comes out. There's all of our parts just there. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is flip this over like that. And we have this section here. So one section has like a nut on the end and one section has a sort of slip. So we want the nut section in first, I do believe, and it only goes in one way. It just need to be pushed in like that, just like that. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to take our wheel here, and this part is going to sit like that. It's been a while since we've done this, so bear with me if I sort of stumble a little bit. Okay, so that's going to go on there, and then we're going to screw it in with two screws. These are PB screws, but with the Megazord they don't label the screws, but they are all the same if I remember rightly in this pack. Okay, so that's that bit done. Next, what we're going to do is grab this. So it has sort of like a T-shaped lock there that just fits into that shape there. So it sort of locks it in like so. And then this is going to go on there. And we're going to screw that in as well with one of these PB screws. Like that. Nice and tight. So that's looking like that. And then obviously the last bit is we're just going to put our cover over the top like that. And we're going to use PB screws again to secure that down. One. That. Keep you also get a spare of all these screws, so put it back in the packet if I can. There we go. Put it to the side. Never know, you might get short packed or you might lose one, so it's another reason why they give you spares. And then what you tend to find out is you have a lot of spares lying around at the end of the build. Okay, so there's number 10. That was the one we were waiting for. Now issue 11 we've had since the last pack, because obviously we couldn't do it before. So let me just take that book away. Put this one up in its place, and we can start this one. So once again we'll stick that there. Issue 11. Okay, so once again we're just going to flip all this out. So we're going to grab this part and this part with a little like hook section there, and once again we're just going to place that through here. Only goes in one way, so the little flat section, so the nut section goes through, and then you've got this like little flat section there. It's going to sit like that. Okay, next what we're going to do, we're going to grab this section here. That is going to sit, this hook section is going to sit on here like so, and then we're going to put our cover over it like that. Then we've got PB screws again, not many this time around, but we've got some. And then this is the foot, I do believe. There we go. Okay, so next what we're going to do is grab this section. So we have a little, that's the difference between the two, just there. So what we need is this one first, and this one is going to sit on this side. So the smaller one on the foot, and just push it up like so. And this one is going to sit on this one. Once again, we want to push it like that, and then push it together like that, so it's together like that, and then this together and squeeze together like that. So we've got two screws here to go in. So we've got one here, it's going to sit on this side. This will help it come together, and then like I said, all this moves pretty well. There's that one. This is the last screw that we're going to screw in, and that's just going to sit on here like that. So, and then we've got these caps. So our first one is that cap. So you've got these three here. So the first one is this one, that's going to sit on there. Then we've got this little square one which has got a sort of a holder thing sitting on there. That is going to go in here. Just push it down, and then our big cap is going to sit on there. For now, like that. I've just poked it through there, but actually not supposed to, so I'm actually going to poke it back out. So, but it doesn't go in yet, so keep those bits sort of spare. But now, as you can see, we now have, I think this one's his right leg, and then we've also got his left leg as well now. So but you want to keep those bits safe for now. So as you see there, from the last pack we should have had both of them, but as you can see they are both there. That's how they're going to sit. So you can sort of see how big the it's going to be just by the feet and the heads and stuff, but it's going to be very big. Lovely, lovely. That's what I say. Bring it on. Right, so put these two safe away with everything else that we've done. So that's the Megazord head, the saber-tooth tiger head, and the start of the chest. Now in this pack we will need our Mastodon head, because we're going to be adding some more on, so that's keep that just so you can grab it. So we're now going to move on because now we're actually going to start this pack. So let's do pack 15, or issue 15 I should say. Pack 5, issue 15. So let's do that. Okay, so issue 15 is this small pack, and we will need the Mastodon head, because we're just going to be putting in basically this sort of the module for the now we did get in this pack, we do get 4 battery chargeable batteries here. Make sure you keep all of them. We will be using one in an issue, but with this one we're only using one, I believe, so the rest of them are for the rest of the build. Anyway, let's carry on. So I'm just going to tip all that out, just like that. And as you can see, it's only small parts that we need. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use PB screws for this build. So we don't need, we've got a spare, we need the 4. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach this here onto this black section. So it's going to sit like that, and then this is going to sit like that. So the charge point is against it, if you know what I mean. So let me just like with the old circuit boards, is you don't want to over tighten them. They just need to be held really in place. That one in, and that one. Oh, nearly stabbed myself. Okay, so that's how it should look. Then we're going to grab our head, and it is going to go in like that. So it's going to go in just like that. Grab these 2. So it's going to go, hang on a second. So it's going to sit on these 2 here, these 2 marks here. Just going to sit it in. Oh. Oh no, nearly. There we go. That in there. So that is connected on like that. A little bit looser than I'd like, so I'll just tighten that a little bit. Don't like over tightening the boards, but okay. So we've got this lead. It doesn't matter which way it goes in, but we're going to stick it into this wire first, just in here. That goes in, and then it's going to go into that board in the middle there as well. There we go, just did nicely like that. And that is it for issue 15. Okay, so let's move on to issue 16. So in issue 16, we're going to be building the Mastodon neck. So the neck of the Mastodon, basically. So these are all the pieces that we get. The first one we're going to do is, I think we're going to grab this piece, like that. And then we're going to grab this rubber section. We're going to put it over here. And then it's going to sit. We're going to put both of these rubber sections actually over this section. And that is going to sit into there, like that. And then we're going to grab this section. And that is going to sit in there with the little section here pointing outwards. So that moves like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to close this up with the other bit. I'm going to try to. Okay. Like so. And that should move as well. Okay. So we've got PB screws again, so we're going to use 2 of them. 1, 2. Looks like they're the only ones we're using. So one is going to go in here. A thinner screwdriver for this, I think. Which one have I got here? We'll use this one. There we go. So this one is really good, and actually it does have an extender for this section. Maybe I should keep that out. There we go. So that's what it should be like at the minute. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to place these. So we're going to put one in here first and one in there. It doesn't really say which way they need to go. I would imagine there's going to be a bit here that turns, so we'll find out in due course. So this first one is going to sit there, and this one and that one. So we've got them. So it's going to sit like that, and there we go. That's what we built. So that's issue 16 of our Megazord. That's part of the neck, so I don't know if that's up like that. But this does come out. It'd be interesting to see how that connects. It's weird, I don't know, but it is what it is. Anyway, we're going to move on to issue 17. Okay, so in issue 17 we've got the tusks, so we just need to literally pull these out, and they're in the right way. They are numbered or lettered as well. So you've got R1, you should have, you've got L1 and R1, and L2 and R2. So we need R2 and R1. They're going to go together. Very chromy, I like that. So that's going to just push together as it goes around. Then we're going to grab one of these end sections here, and it's not going to go in. Just put the 2 points in, but it's, yeah. Anyway, what we might do is glue that in, and then we'll do the same for this one. So just going to push together. So like that. We also get this little black button, which is the on-off button, which we're going to obviously install very soon. Now for these, so that one goes in fine. I can see that coming off. With this one, it needs to. There we go. No. It's not been filed down enough, so I can rectify that. I've got some spare cutters here, which are going to take. There is a little nub on the end here. On this one here. And this one, you can see where it's come off the spurs. It just hasn't been cut flushly. It will need gluing on, I think, anyway. Even though I've cut it flush, I'm going to drop a bit of super glue. I know I'm using the sort of wrong glue, but only a small amount on there. Hold that for a few secs. It doesn't say in the book to glue it. Just says insert the pin into it. So there we go. It's held. That one's holding as well, which is great. Okay. So we've got both our tusks and our off button. That is it for issue 17. Let's move on to issue 18. So issue 18, we're basically going to connect everything that we've just done to the head. And we have got now we have got a battery in this pack, but I'm going to replace it. So there's that battery there. I'm going to replace it with one that was in the pack loose. So I'm going to replace it with this one. So let's just take these out. Now I think that was what happened. So when this was originally done in France, they had some problems with the batteries holding charge, and we've had that in the build already. And Fanhome have very kindly supplied us with a lot of new ones, but it does mean the old ones are still in the pack. So I'm not going to use that one. That's the one that came in the pack, as you saw. I'm going to use one of the ones that was loose in the box that Fanhome provided. So what I'm going to do is open this. So this is one of the ones that Fanhome provided, like that. And we're going to wrap it in the foam that we've got just here. So the new batteries hold power. Now the other ones do work, and I've shown you that. They just do not hold the charge very long. But they do work. Okay, so we're going to peel that off. And we're going to wrap this battery in this. So just going to wrap it up just like that, like so. Okay, and then we're going to grab over our head. So let's move this to the side a second. Grab the head. Now the battery is going to go into this little hole down here, and it's going to plug it in. Like so. Like that, so it clicks in. That's what we're going to do. We're then going to grab our next section, which is here, and this is going to go. Okay, so what we've got to do is, I did think that we've got to take these out and spin them. Okay, so these two parts here are going to fit into here, so we've got to do it. It doesn't. Hit the wires or anything like that, and then what we can do is, once we've done that, there we go, that's like that, so you can see that. Lovely. Then we're going to fit a tusk. So we've got the, no, I don't know which one was the left and right one here. Should have marked them. Okay, that is going to come out still. And these are just going to, basically, that's the left one, and that's the right one. They're just going to be pushed up. Hang on a sec. There we go. Just so they, so sort of come out a little bit. They sort of just hook in, just like that. So they sort of come outwards like that. That is looking cool now. Okay, next we've got this section. So we're going to place this under here like that. That's going to sit like that. That's the back of the ears, and we've got some PB screws, 3 of them we're going to stick in here. So we're just going to secure this head section down now. Hang on a second, to make sure it's properly lined. There we go. There we go. Just make sure it's all clicked round. So there's the first screw going in. Does it need a longer one? It does. There's that one. Gone in. Like that. So that's that side done. Next one, we have a push button, our black push button here. So that is going to sit on in that bigger section just there. And then what we've got to do is place this like we had just a minute ago. So this has got to go around, lock in as well. So it's got a sort of, there we go. Once we've got it sort of right, we can then put that button in. I'm going to hold it like this. So when it comes to closing it up, right, hang on a second, that button's moved out of alignment. Right, it's lost inside, so I'm going to have to unclip this. That is a bit of a tricky one. There it is. It's basically got to sit over that. That button there. Oh, it's lit up already. Okay, hang on. Oh wow. Hang on, let me turn off the lights, I'll show you. So I'll just hold the button. Oh, it's already lit, that's cool. Okay. I'll need that off now. That's good to know. Okay. So once again, I'm going to have to put this round here. Put this like this, and no, let's come out again. Do apologise, I've been going for 8 minutes on this part. Right, let me adjust it and see if I can get it in. Okay, so got there in the end. Now the button isn't fantastic, it's still there, as you can see. It's still here, and it still functions. That's the good thing. So as you can see, the lights are now on. Let me turn the lights off again so you can see all that. So turn it on, you hold it down, it flashes, it comes on, and then push it again for it to go off. And that's it. So that's it for stage 18. We finished off the Megazord, the Mastodon head, should I say? The Mastodon head. The wire that we got in this issue, put to a side. We're going to use that in probably just a minute. But we've now finished the Mastodon head. Okay, let's move on to issue 19. So this is stage 19. We are doing the Triceratops head now. So it looks like we're building all the heads first before we start doing the bodies and stuff like that. So let's get all these parts out for now. We also need the light that we got in the previous issue 18, which is that part there. The head is die cast, just like the saber-tooth one. Get out, Kev. So this is die cast, which is absolutely lovely. So these are all the parts that we get. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we have to locate this section, this part just here. And what we're going to do is we are actually going to screw that into there, like that. And we're going to use a PB screw. So they're the black screws that we've got here. So here's one, because this one is where they are all. Be really careful with this and the wires. So we're just going to line it up. I'm going to put the screw first through there. And just screw it up like that. Okay, so that's something like that. If you can see that, so that ends up like that. So it sort of sits in there quite nicely, just like that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put it onto the actual eye as well. So we've got the eye here, so that is going to sit through like so. And then this will cover that section. So there is a little part for the wire to go through, which is at the end here. There's like a little slit just there, and the wire goes through that. Oh no, I put it around the wrong thing. It's this one here I need to do, sorry. My mistake. Got so many bits here. Right, okay. So that's going to go in like that. And then this is going to go over the top like that. And that's going to sit on like that. PB screws again, so these little black ones. Put one in here. Black one here. Like so. Then we need the outer casing. And then this is going to go in like that. And we're going to use PWB wires, which are these ones here, which have like the little, they're like the flatter head ones, or the ones with the little washers around them already. That's how I describe them. I'm going to stick one in here. Nice and tightly up. And this one. in this side here. That screw, okay, that screw there is rounded. The screw head is not working, see? So that one up like that. Then we've got the smaller section here. Once again, this is going to be screwed up with one of these other screws that we've got here. So this is going to sit at the bottom here, just here, I believe. Yep. There is a little guide pin there as well. One second, it's not into that guide pin. There we go, into the guide pin. Like that. Then we've got the last little bit, which is going to run along the back here. That's going to sit on like that. Once again, we're just going to use PWB screws just along the back here. That's one. And the last one. And this brings us to the end of issue 19. And then we've got one left of this pack. And like I said, it has been a long one, this one, so that's because we had the 2 extra issues to do from the previous one. But there we go. So that's it for this issue. Let's move on to issue 20. This is all of issue 20, just here. So it's virtually the same. So we're just going to grab some of these bits up, like this one first. And we've got PB screws in this one, so we've got them in separate bags now. Let's pull them out. Once again, we've got the light here, so we just need to unravel this carefully, like so. And I'm just going to do what I did before, so put it through the circuit board. Like so. Make sure it sits into this gap here. Like so. That sits in just like that, and then the wire will come out through there, like that. And we've got the eye to go in, other way, like so, and this over the top, like so. PB screws again, the black ones, the black screws here, like that, and then like that. And then once again, this is going to go through here. Oh. There we go. What's the matter with me? Then we're going to use these screws next. So these are the chrome or silver ones, PWB ones. I think they mean they go into metal. Black ones for plastic. I think that's what the P stands for. There was in an issue, I do believe in an issue, they actually told you what the screws mean. This one in the front here. So once again, this one in here. Now there is that guide pin there, remember? So you need to make sure it goes in like that. This one. Then once again, this is going to sit on the back here. Right. They haven't been cut properly where I'm supposed to screw this in, so they're not going in. Right. Okay, I'm going to get these. I got there in the end, just there. So, yep, just like that. Right, the next part is we're going to put these washers, these rubber spacer things over like that. I'm going to stick one in here. No, one in here, like so. Maybe not. And one in this side, and we're going to use a PB screw because we're going to connect all this together by the looks of things. So this goes into these holes here. So they seem to not want to go in. So maybe if we can put them into this hole, does that work? No, they are slightly too big to go in, so it sort of crushes them up. Let's put this one on. Yeah, hang on a sec. I'll swap them over and see if that helps. Nope. Like I said, if I could put them in, they're just getting absolutely squashed up in there. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so putting them in the hole works a little bit better, I've got to say. Not 100% better, but so much more. And it does go in a lot smoother. So what we'll do is clamp this up. And there are two screws here, or two screw holes, I should say. And we're going to put the PB one in the first hole. Apparently this is going to keep it all together. So there goes the screw. And yeah. And the beak opens as well. Okay. I'm happy with that. Yeah. Obviously there'll be the horns on here for the Triceratops horns. And there's a mechanism in there as well that sort of shoots them out. But I'm happy with that. So there we go, and that's that pack finished. So yeah, okay, so I do have to say thank you so much for sticking with me. It has been a long one, and that's only because we had to do 2 issues from the previous pack, so I do apologize. But we have now finished the Mastodon head, and we're starting our Triceratops head as well, and that is where we are with this build. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and everything will be in the description. And we will see you at the next video. So until then, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tune into the channel. Nexus is the name. All the hardest content, you'll never be the same. Laughs and thrills, excitement.